Hey guys, so I want to make this video on Quant real quick because I feel like now that the price is going up, maybe some of you don't believe me that this can reach $300. And why am I being very specific with that price target? And the reason why is because that's the price of AVE, and I like to compare the AAVE token with Quant just because of the similar tokenomics. And I'm not comparing Quant's use cases or fundamentals to AVE in any way. This is in no way comparing them in that way. I'm comparing Quant and AVE strictly for their token supply tokenomics, how that can influence the price of Quant in comparison to AVE. That's it. So that means that, in my opinion, I think Quant is superior to AVE. It doesn't even compete. There's nothing competing with Quant at this point when it comes to solving the problem of interoperability in this space. But Quant will have so much money flowing through it, like that I believe that it will reach higher prices in the next 5 to 10 years, higher prices than even Bitcoin, which means that I'm giving it a five to six figure, per token price prediction. That is 10,000 to 100K a token. This is my moon boy price prediction for Quant. If you guys were looking for that, this is basically it. But this is not financial advice. This is my own opinion and what I think about what it can do in the future in terms of price action or price appreciation. So yeah, this is only because of the amount of money, guys, that's going to flow. It's going to be connecting entire banking systems. So as the overledger, it's just going to be a layer that sits on top of permission and permissionless blockchains. It's in the name, guys. It's going to be like this. The overledger system, it's going to sit on top of every other network and blockchain, payment API, banking APIs, and everything that can connect to it. So Quant allows for entire banking systems to seamlessly interconnect and interoperate, and flows of digital money that could previously only take place internally are possible between any participant, whether inside or outside the organization. So a lot of things are going to take place, guys, thanks to Quant, that were not able to happen before in the past, which is the main thing, is interoperability. That's a problem that the CEO of Verdian and Quant was trying to actually work on as his vision of the internet, basically, of the internet 3.0. A big part for this to even work is that there has to be interoperability anyway. You could just use any platform and connect to it with one API, with one key. You can have access to all those blockchains and legacy systems, and that's how your bank can connect to them in the first place. It's through Quant. It's through the overledger, which is the operating system of this network. But this is the Crypto Sloth. Check him out on Twitter. You guys should follow him. Respect for making this post. I think is relevant. But he said why I believe Quant is a life-changing investment, and I agree with him completely on this one. He said right now the crypto space operates in silos. Connecting blockchains is very challenging, and most examples in this space don't scale for real-world applications. Quant is the only way to connect any to anything. So you're going to be able to connect to blockchains in the future. This makes it future-proof. This is why I love the Quant network. Another thing is its CEO is a tech genius that had the vision for the new internet back in 1997 during the dot-com era, before the dot-com crash, obviously, like a few years before. But without the technology to create it, he spent the next 2 decades in cybersecurity, government regulations, and C-level executive positions. So this is basically Gilbert Verdian's resume right here. You can see he worked with Ernst & Young, HM Treasury in the UK, HSBC, which is a major bank, and BP, Ministry of Justice in the UK. He's working as a security lead. He worked with NSW Ambulance, so Chief Information Officer. He also worked as Volca, which is basically a MasterCard company. Bank of England, he worked with the CMORG Cyber. And then he worked for the Federal Reserve System in the Secure Payments Task Force for Fed payments. So he knows how this stuff works. He's been in the banking industry, guys, BSI Group, and he's a part of the ISO International Organization for Standardization, because the token Quant is an ISO TC 307 compliant asset. He also worked for the European Commission as a EU Blockchain Observatory and Forum member. So this token is very compliant, guys. And they don't have the regulatory issues that are going on in the US. They don't have that going on in the UK or in Europe in general. So there's more clarity over there. Obviously, the only country that seems to have a problem with digital currencies and whether something is, unregistered securities or not is here in the US, which is very sad. Like over there, you can have an ICO, and here you can't without registering with the SEC. But if you go down here, you can see that Crypto Sloth, he mentioned saying that the CEO began building Quant in 2015, nearly 7 years before the crypto world would recognize the significance of interoperability. And along the way, he also founded the ISO TC 307, the blockchain standard the world is now using. And if you go down here, you can see how Gilbert Verdian he replied to Moment to Quamfi, who is somebody from the Quant community here on Twitter. He's talking about his experience in working with security, going back to 1997 and stuff. But if you go down here, the Web 3.0, or the internal value / Internet of Things, which is IOTA, has new rules, and tokens have value to create incentives to secure and operate the network. When a token has the potential to facilitate countless trillions of dollars of value, capturing a fraction of that value has enormous implications. And then this is basically the utility token overview for Quant. So you guys can pause the video. I'll give you a second if you want to, and you can read all this stuff. You might have to zoom in or something, but yeah. If you go down here, it says, so who is using Quant? 95% of Quant's partnerships are under non-disclosure agreements and exist as a product of speculation via very clear cookie crumbs. MasterCard, Amazon, Bank of England, the list goes on and on. Another partnership is ALBT, or Alliance Block. I made a video of that recently, guys. Check it out. Putting that aside, here's what we know about it. So SIA is the largest financial services technology provider in all of Europe. Thousands of banks and almost 1 billion users. Europe is large, guys. It's way bigger than the United States, okay? When you combine Europe. And the LACC chain, which is Latin America, it's the national infrastructure there. Basically, Quant is powering the Latin American dollar for hundreds of millions of users. And then you got Pay UK, which is the payment infrastructure for the UK. Oracle, which is one of the world's largest software companies, like Intel. Basically, Quant is working with XRP on the digital pound. This explains, guys, what's going on over there in the development of that CBDC in the United Kingdom. That's going to bring in a lot of value for not only the Overledger, which utilizes Quant, but also XRP, which is the main settlement token for ODL, or what used to be called XRapid. And then DAG, which is layer 0 infrastructure for all data, plus a lot more. The TAM for Quant is nearly uncapped at this point, as there are no competitors. Quant has a mere 20,000 holders. This is updated as of July 23, by the way, compared to 561,000 holders that are holding Link, and 3 million holders for XRP. So, with the supply scarcer than Bitcoin and even better utility, you should begin to see the opportunity. So this is Quant if it had the same market cap as XRP, Cardano, Chainlink, and Dogecoin. This is where Quant would be at in terms of price. And this is when July 23, Quant was like $70, $80. So yeah, but it's still very similar to the prices we're seeing now, obviously. But just to give you an idea, look at the price, guys. If Quant had a 40 billion market cap like Cardano, it'd be $3,000 a token. This is what we're talking about in the next 3 to 5 years as being a possibility for you holders out there. But I barely began to scratch the surface here. You guys can follow the CEO of Quant, who is Gilbert Verdian. He's a true technology visionary moving the entire world forward. And when he made this post, he was saying that do not pass up on the opportunity bigger than buying Bitcoin at $75. And this is obviously directly comparing Quant at the price then, which was $75 to Bitcoin back in like 2011, when it was very undervalued. And we know what Bitcoin went up to recently. Obviously, it's a lot higher than that, than 75. And it's ridiculous. But, Citibank uses Quant network Overledger. Overledger, guys, is the operating system, okay, of the Quant network. The MLT for cross-border settlement. And you got the whole City Innovation Labs. They achieve cross-border payments over blockchain. So saying that the Inter-American Development Bank and City Innovations Labs concluded successful proof of concept to make cross-border payments from the United States to countries in Latin America and the Caribbean using blockchain and tokenized money that provides full traceability of the transactions. That's what they want, guys. That's the agenda. Full transparency, basically. Exchange rates and fees. They want to get paid. They want to bank the unbanked, okay? Because that is more money for them. Today, Overledger is helping to unlock the potential of DLTs in major projects across the world. One of the most ambitious of these projects is the ALCC chain, an alliance led by the Inter-American Development Bank, operating across Latin America and the Caribbean region. The LCC chain is already having demonstrable positive social impact, and the consortium has developed a roadmap that will ultimately lead to the interconnection of regional DLT ecosystems. And then you guys can pause it and read the rest. But it's very bullish in my opinion for Quant. They keep mentioning Quant there like over and over. The brief analysis above points to a clear conclusion. The API gateways have significant advantages over the other approaches, and it was for this reason that Quant chose the API gateway model for Overledger, our own solution to the challenge of interoperability. That's what they're solving, guys, with Quant, is the problem and the lack of interoperability. Now, the Overledger is easily integrated with multiple DLTs, including Hyperledger Fabric. It is a Hyperledger member, okay, that is verified, and Hyperledger Vezu. And Quant is constantly expanding the list of supported DLTs. One of those supported DLTs is RippleNet. Yes. And then look, now to top this off right here. Over the years, there have been many attempts to solve the problem of interoperability. Of the various approaches taken, the World Economic Forum, or the WEF, identified three main categories: cross-authentication relayers, oracles, and API gateway, which of course begs the obvious question: which is the best path to follow in the search for true universal interoperability? I choose Quant out of anything to solve that problem. And this is Quant's utility, okay? So there's utility from licensing. So just like any other operating system like Windows, you have to license the system to use it. So tokens paid for licensing are locked by the Quant treasury. Security, it offers security by you basically using the token Quant for signing and encrypting all transactions that take place on that network, on the Overledger operating system, essentially. Digital assets. So tokens are needed to move digital assets across chains. So if you want to utilize that full potential of interoperability, and you want to move tokens from one blockchain to the other seamlessly, basically, thanks to the Overledger, you have to use Quant. I don't know what you have to do with that. You might have to lock it up or something, but yeah, that's crazy. Gateways. Tokens will be used in the gateway system launching in Q2 2020. Obviously, this is a little outdated, but this is essentially giving you an idea of what the Quant token utility looks like, the utility behind that. There's a total supply of 14 million tokens minted, no inflation. All tokens are unlocked, and there's 3.5 million tokens with the team or company. So there's very few tokens out there available on exchanges for us to buy up. So there's going to be this liquidity crisis, guys, because people are not going to be selling at these low prices when they know it can go up way higher. And because there's going to be a lack of sellers, the people that are buying are going to have to compete for higher prices. They're going to pay higher premiums, and they're going to be willing to pay twice, 3 times the price or whatever. It's going to be like an auction type thing. Like people are going to be bidding for, for competitive prices, and they're going to have to be forced to pay higher than what they think they were going to pay to be able to acquire these tokens, especially when there's like a short supply, when there's scarcity involved with this. It's just going to be a total nightmare, guys, for anyone that's been trying to accumulate this below $100. I think most people are now realizing that hey, it's going to be hard to find another opportunity like that where you can get Quant under $100, especially with this sort of like supply shock that's taking place. But the SIA CloudNet connects hosted applications to major payment networks. Italy SIA has launched a dedicated connection channel to major payments networks for banks running applications hosted by top cloud providers such as Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure. SIA CloudNet supports access to EBA clearing's Pan-European Real-Time Payment System (RT1) to Eurosystem's Target Instant Payment Settlement or TIP service. This is ISO, by the way, 222, as well as the PagoPA payment system, and to the major domestic and international debit and credit card networks. That's including MasterCard and Visa, I'm assuming. Anyway, these are the connections. Quant obviously is a Hyperledger member right here. Oracle, it's connected to the Global Legal Blockchain Consortium, so they're trying to be as like compliant as possible in Europe and the UK. Like the UK likes to do their own, their own thing. They like to separate themselves from Europe. That's why Brexit happened. But so check out the price of Quant right now at $169, guys. It is half of what Aave is, around there. So I mean, that means that if we get to about the same market cap as Aave and we increase the volume to over $300 million every 24 hours for Quant, we will basically be matching this price right here, which is $300, and this is only a short-term price prediction for Quant. I think that Quant in the short to medium term, I think we can get close to $1,000, just because of the supply shock that's going to take place. Like I said, there's not that many available on exchanges, guys, to buy. So eventually they're going to run out, and it's just going to be like the price is just going to continually go into price discovery, just due to the fact that it's scarce, and that's going to cause a lot of people to fight over prices, compete, and pay higher premiums anyway to be able to hold this token. And then on top of that, the actual utility that comes from Overledger, like locking it up and staking it so you can use and license the network or the operating system, guys, it's going to be insane. So I just want to leave you guys with this. Quant just now reached 22,354 holders. You compare that to Aave. Aave has around 88,000 holders, so around there 88,400 on the good days. So their holders have been increasing, but this one's obviously had more exposure. It's been on larger exchanges for longer than Quant. Quant just got added to Binance recently, so it's going to take time obviously for it to reach those higher and higher prices, but it will happen. And trust me when I say that, because anyone that says that it's not possible for Quant to get up to $500 or $600 or maybe even $1,000 very quickly has to see what Aave did, which has similar tokenomics. Aave went up from $80 in December 2020 to over $555 on February 10th. So that means that over the course of literally 2 months, Aave did a almost 6x ROI, or return on investment. So imagine if Quant did something similar. It'll just say Quant did like a 4x, almost a 5x ROI. So let's just say from $180, Quant goes up 4 times in price. That's like $700. And Aave, almost went up there. I mean, it was going up to like 600 and something, $650 on a good day during May. So it's very possible with the volume and the liquidity increasing for Quant now that it's added to Binance and stuff. I think that it's going to be a major player. It's going to definitely get into the top 20 in terms of top cryptos by market cap. And if it cracks the top 20, I mean, that's only like a 6 billion market cap. And imagine at that market cap what price it would be at. I think it would be something like, $450 to $500. That's what I'm thinking. But who really knows? Maybe $600 on a good day. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video. That's going to be everything for today. If you all did, definitely leave a like and also comment if you have any suggestions for future uploads. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. I'll see you guys in the next video. I love y'all. I'm out.